So who plans the family holidays? Is it you or is it the kids, the wife?
It's largely been my daughter who's now married.
Perfect ideal holiday for you.
I want to understand what goes on, how the culture is, what the food they eat.
A holiday destination that perfectly blends nature and technology.
We went to Ladakh because, there are vast expanses of land and beautiful mountains, and there was no rush. So you were beautifully connected.
Do you still pursue sports now when you get time?
I can't live without doing something for my fitness regimen.
What's the weirdest local delicacy you have tried on a holiday?
Having pork with chocolate.
Hello and welcome to Club Mahindra Presents Magical Memories in association with the Indian Express. I'm your host, Khyati Rajvanshi, and today we have a very special guest with us. He has been redefining leadership in the corporate world. Please join me in welcoming Corporate Officer, Hitachi Limited and Executive Chairman, Hitachi India, Bharat Kaushal. Bharat sir, thank you so much for being with us today. Or should I call you Bharat San?
Well, the san means G in Hindi in the Japanese language. It is a very respecting culture, and therefore you don't just address someone by first name.
So, you've worked in Japan, US, and India. Has that changed your leadership style at all, working globally?
Yes, it has been a big influence. My first influence came from my father, who was in the government, but held many important positions, and I observed him very closely because at that time in the mid-80s, I thought that is the life that I would like to lead to. But because we were in the government and I successfully, unfortunately, got a scholarship to go overseas, I got another experience. And India started to change in 1991, which is when my education was getting completed. And there were so many new avenues that I could have pursued.
And now you're the first Indian to lead Hitachi India. How does that feel?
Well, I somehow still call it an experiment, but yes, it's first of all, it's a function of trust. Of my many years in Japanese companies, there was a cultural transition that I had to go through first. So when I came into Hitachi, I was 25 years in investment banking already, which is a great skill set to develop because you're being the face of multiple ideas and not just companies or corporations. But at the same time, you're facilitating someone else's business. So you get a very wide spectrum of activity to sell, but you're selling it for someone else. When I came into Hitachi, it was a reinvention of sorts for me because it was all my business to do. Whether it's a big business in capital good industry like railway or power or water, or it's a very fast-moving digital piece of the business, which is going into the last mile, because India was also changing dramatically.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's so inspiring and fascinating to hear about your journey and a career over 30 plus year long career. When you look back at it all, is there any one defining moment that stands out?
There are several over these years which have helped me to learn more and shifted the course a little bit. First of all, as I mentioned, I was looking at government as my potential career. It would have been my luck if I succeeded or not. But when I went to the United States and studied in good institutions, I could realize this world is much bigger in terms of opportunity it presents. But since I was so committed to being in India, this was also beginning to happen in India. So there was an element of coincidence that for doing that thing that absorbs you more, you don't necessarily have to not be in India. You could do it, but it was in its nascency. But so was I, very, very young. I was not a leader at that, but I was just a learner.
And you mentioned your connection to India and you wanted to be in India. But I know the viewers and I would really love to know more about the time that you spent here as a child. Let's go a bit back in time to your childhood. You were born in Lucknow.
Yes,
And then
I was born in Lucknow because we had a family out of Lucknow, but I grew up in Delhi. to school and college, and then went overseas. But as I said, my dad's been in the government. He was a police officer. So there were several opportunities when he was in VIP security or Prime Minister's security. You would attend more high-profile functions as a kid, somewhere seated in a big auditorium, but just for the experiences of what goes on. And during that course, my father had a belief that as a policeman's son, there's a greater chance of getting spoiled without realizing, whatever you may do. So he made a rule for me that I must bow down every day, which means visit a temple or a gurdwara or a mosque or church or, any place of worship. But you must put your forehead on the floor. Once you do that, once in a day, you don't have to go in. Maybe the time is up and it's shut for public to go in. That doesn't matter. But if you bow down once, you will learn to respect people. And that will come very, very handy throughout your life. And I'm still doing it.
We're still doing that. That's amazing. And is there any other, did that become like a childhood sort of family tradition? Like if you went on holidays with your family, did you visit temples or places of worship? Was that like a...
Yes. I won't call them religious holidays. They were sometimes larger family holiday or,
Yeah.
that was the prevalent culture at that time. My parents, brothers and sisters, or my cousins, whom we would call brothers and sisters too, would all go either together in summer, or we would go to our family homes in Lucknow and Kanpur, or once in a while go overseas and be very measured in our holidays. They're not the luxury imagination of holidays, because we would carry some food from home and experiment with the new experiences of cultural immersion of eating. And my parents were vegetarian, but they wanted me to eat everything.
Oh, okay.
So they would make me try
Oh, that's very interesting.
and try everything.
Oh,
But making sure that, if I cut a fried fish, it won't make noise on the bone china plate, and also learn some manners alongside.
is there any favorite childhood holiday memory that you have?
Yes, visiting in India across the length and breadth, be it a family holiday, my father driving a car with my mother and another help, and my sister and me to Kashmir from Delhi, or going, he was posted in Goa for 3 years, but Goa being Goa, this was in the early 70s, so it was very new from the Portuguese tradition. So going there, or some temple towns, some events, going to watch cricket in other places, because we have loved watching cricket together. And now we are 3 generations of my father and me and my son. In fact, my larger family too. We try to watch sports together.
Even now.
Even now, somehow. Even if it's not the whole match. The World Cup or something, yes, we'll travel to Ahmedabad or travel to some other Mumbai or some place. But other than that, even if it's on television, it's like a little bit of festivity at home.
Do you still pursue sports now when you get time?
Well, I can't live without doing something for my fitness regimen. Pursuing a sport is different in different times. I play golf. I not played squash of late, but I love to play squash. Cricket is like everybody knows how to play cricket, especially in my generation. So there are events, there are company events, there are family getting together on a holiday in Kasoli or someplace and still making a few hours out for playing cricket.
I wanted to touch upon that. You have such a busy schedule now. And as someone in the corporate world, there's this corporate ladder that you climb eventually. And what happens is you forget to have a work-life balance while climbing the ladder. And you're a family man as well. So how do take time out for family? Like you said, you watch cricket or do something. How do you prioritize family bonding time?
First of all, it's natural to me because I observed in my own home while growing up that even as a small kid, at home I would be kept awake because my dad's going to come back late. I mean, he worked with the prime minister and therefore he could only come back late, but he must talk to me every day. So, and then this went into at least doing one meal together. So regardless of your hunger quotient, you can't have a meal in my house alone unless you're alone.
Even now.
Yes, with the children too. And that small time, it's not a very elaborate dinner bit, whatever is at home, we'll just do it together.
Have you had a recent holiday where you've switched off your phone and just spent time with family and not thought about work? I mean, okay, not even addressed.
No, I don't switch off the phone for another personal reason. If my parents or my parents-in-law are not joining us for some reason, much as we want them to come everywhere with us, but sometimes it's too short and, we're wanting to do Amalfi and Vineyard and, run back within those 4 days. And it's also anniversary. You want to make it special. So the phone is on.
Yeah.
And because I start getting messages or emails from earlier in the morning because I work in a Japanese company, my wife's finger is always on even at night. So the phone doesn't shut. But yeah, the choice is that you can respond back later unless it's your own boss calling you or something that may be potentially very important.
So who plans the family holidays? Is it you or is it the kids, the wife?
Yeah, so it's largely been my daughter who's now married.
Oh, okay.
And my daughter can guide us even when we're going on our 2-day holiday, what to do, including right up to the restaurant or the place to visit. She's enthusiastic. I mean, she about holiday. And she plans it very well, knowing our taste rather than just the important places to visit.
What is your taste of what's a perfect ideal holiday for you?
I like good holidays, and good holidays can have, love good food. I want to understand what's goes on, how the culture is, what the food they eat. I want to eat local food. I don't want to rush to tick box of every single thing that should be seen there.
Is there any particular activity that you like to do on a holiday just to unwind?
I don't want to say sleep, which is the first one. But and no one likes it when I say that I'm not joining for breakfast, let me sleep, because they think that's an event you can't miss.
Yeah.
And I mean, because the breakfast in holiday places is a larger buffet, and it's a time to talk and experiment and do other things in different parts of the world. But yeah, I don't like to sleep early.
Did that change when you became a parent, like the meaning of family holidays?
Yes, it's kind of traveled a journey, I mean, earlier the holiday would have that attraction of a Disney, Universal Studio, all that kind of thing, or the hotel with better amenities and something for children to do because they'll get bored. And you wanted them to enjoy, but we now went recently in October last year to Italy, where we like going, and we've been a few times, but this time we were all 5 of us together and rented a car and stopped by to those places where they make food after you make the order. And it takes a few hours, like a couple of hours, but it's food for you, but it's authentic. I mean, the tomatoes will come in front of you and be pounded, and then it'll be put on the pizza bread and then be sort of baked or put in the oven. So we went to Amalfi Coast and we went to a vineyard in Chianti in the middle of Italy and stayed in that vineyard because we wanted to spend time together. There were smaller towns, small bakery shops, walk, that rented car for a little bit longer distance. just to be together in different ways. Because the most important part of the holiday is us. Everything else will keep moving.
That is true. That's very beautiful. That I can just picture it in my mind. That must be a long holiday then.
I mean, it was 2 days in Amalfi and 2 days in Chianti,
That's very
and 1 day of travel. Yes, yes. So, but that's but but it is. But we had a blast. We live every holiday. The objective is to live another life.
Okay, so now we are going to have a small game called Jet Set Go. I'll ask you a couple of quick questions and you say whatever comes to your mind.
Sure.
One place that feels like home, no matter how long it's been.
Japan for me now. I don't feel. I've been going there so much, and it has had such a deep influence on me.
A holiday destination that perfectly blends nature and technology.
We went to Ladakh because this was, there are vast expanses of land and beautiful mountains, and there was no rush, and it's a direct flight from Delhi. But it was beautiful because of security reasons. The technology architecture was very good. So you were beautifully connected.
Who in your family is the most excited about planning holidays?
So my daughter and wife love the idea of holidays.
A gadget you never leave behind on a holiday.
Of course, the telephone and also iPads.
If you had a weekend off with no work calls, how would you spend it?
If I'm in Delhi, I love to meet people, but my meeting people definition within me is to invite people home.
One life lesson a holiday has taught you.
First of all, I don't want the holiday to end, even though I have to sort of attend to other things.
If you could take a holiday anywhere in Japan, where would it be?
For me, Kyoto has a very deep connect from its temples and food and culture, and there is a lot of Japan in Kyoto.
What's your go-to dish to try in every new destination?
The safest bet is to have an engagement with room service or the hotel staff about how they are going to make the club sandwich for me.
What's the most touristy thing you have ever done on a holiday?
We like beach holidays the most.
What's the weirdest local delicacy you have tried on a holiday?
Well, I experimented in October having pork with chocolate on a hot stone plate, cooked on a hot stone plate. And I just loved it.
Well, thank you so much for answering all these questions. It was
Thank you.
Now we have a small section called Club Mahindra Flashback Frames. We'll show you a couple of photos from your holidays. And you can tell us a bit about the photo, where it was taken, who's in the photo, what was happening in that moment.
Yes.
So here's the first photo.
This is a picture in Tokyo of a very famous the oldest Buddhist temple in Asakusa. And this is my wife and my son. And this was in June of last year. And this temple has a place where, of course, it's a very beautiful and large temple. Many, many people go and visit it. But it's also the tradition of asking for some fortune, like a fortune telling thing where you play some kind of a small game, and not a game really. It's like playing your luck, open a drawer, and it will some kind of wish and some kind of foretelling. Yes, depending on the number. Yes.
Yeah.
It is a Buddhist thing.
Buddhist
thing.
Can we have the next photo, please?
Well, this is our good old Central Park in New York. We have, as I said to you, when we are students, and you're in Manhattan on Broadway at college, you only walk, and that's how you discover.
Can we have the next photo, please?
This my daughter and my son in Trafalgar Square in London when they were smaller. But the moment they start coming to this age, they can understand more. And that's why this picture is a favorite of mine.
Can we have the next photo, please?
Well, this is the Amalfi town,
Yeah.
and it's our anniversary. And that's me on the corner, and my son and wife and daughter and son again.
And this was the recent holiday that.
Yes, in October.
What's happening here? Are you guys?
This is nighttime, actually. It's very well lit, but it's nighttime, and we're having dinner in the open. There is a cathedral in front, and this is the main heart of the town. There's a fountain on one side and a cathedral, and we were lucky to get a table right there. I mean, it wasn't booked. We were just roaming around. We just waited for our turn till we got hungry and also got the table.
Can we have the next photo, please?
This is a generation above us.
Yeah.
You know, this is us entirely. Trying to make the most out of being together. I mean, we did it when we were younger, and now everyone's in different locations, but they want to make the effort of coming together, sitting together and being, just spending all the time together, from getting up to sleeping in those 2 days.
Where was this?
This was in Kasoli.
And who's in the photo? You have your cousins, extended cousins, your parents as
Yes,
well.
yes. I mean, this was a picture taken. I mean, there are more of them, but we've done some holidays to just holiday destinations. Sometimes we also go to, say, Vaishno Devi together or do something.
That's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. So we have a small gift hamper
Thank
from
you.
Club Mahindra
thank
for
you.
you.
Wow, I'm sure I will. Thank you so much.
So, before we wrap up the conversation, I was having such a lovely time getting to know about your family holidays, what you do to unwind from work. Is there any one advice that you can give to young professionals who are climbing up the corporate ladder, who are struggling to have a work-life balance and take time out for, not only family, but for themselves?
My dad said that if people don't go back home and doesn't understand that my son is not doing well in maths, or there is a problem at home or something, regular stuff brings sanity in your life. And that's when the attitude of police is going to change. And I took that to my heart. And I'd say there is no one answer to work-life balance, because corporate ladders mean multiple things to multiple people. You can't give up traveling. You can't not be there. Depending on your sales or your research or whatever function you're doing. You have to find your own model. The objective is to live with both equally.
Thank you for that advice. I really hope, viewers who are watching and are in that situation take something from this conversation today and realize the importance of unwinding, and not only for their mental health, physical health also. It's very important to just take a step back and relax sometimes. And, thank you again for sharing all of the wonderful insights and knowledge and wisdom and lovely family memory holidays. It was lovely hearing about all of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to our viewers who are watching, thank you so much, and stay tuned and keep making magical memories.